Alright, so for our first little tinker toy, first of all I'm here with my friend Noah.
Hello there.
Yeah. And it's a Dualshock 2 PlayStation 2 controller. And we're right now the L1 and R1 buttons rock side to side, and I don't remember them ever doing that. And before, the R2 used to get stuck a lot. So I'm gonna take this thing apart and put it back together and see if it makes anything better. So to start, do you mind holding this?
Sure.
Just make sure it doesn't tangle up in my wrists or whatever.
Well, what if I want to tangle it?
Oh, no, where did I put my screwdriver? Did I put it right? No, hang on.
Wow, do a great start.
Quality YouTube channel here, people.
Turns out this is actually a quest for the screwdriver. If you didn't come watch this, then go somewhere else.
Watch your Geetfo. Alright, I found one. It wasn't the one I was looking for, but it works. There we go. To use this thing. Oh god. Are you kidding me? We're like a minute and a half in, and I already had one of those "Are you serious?" moments.
Oh, such rage.
Yeah. Ugh. Get in the
magnetism.
You know, I actually don't think they're supposed to come out. They're those kind of screws that are sealed in place.
Oh joy.
Inside of the body, which are actually better because you don't lose them.
Oh yeah.
But they've come out before, so I think they're meant to come out. They can only come out like as a set.
Or maybe they were broken and you just didn't realize it.
Oh boy. Well, let's just go ahead and take it apart and find out. I know you're sitting there and being bored. Oh dear.
No, I'm trying to figure out how to tangle the cord with one hand.
You devilish dork. Okay. I couldn't record at any higher frame rate than this, and I can't record at any better quality without filling up my memory card in 15 minutes. We're going to need a lot more than that. Sadly.
Yeah,
okay, that is a screw.
Depends on how fast you want to screw things, I suppose.
I bet top comment's going to be "That's what she said," and with like 5 timestamps.
Oh sure.
It's like 4:07, 5:13, 6:48. That's what she said.
Ho 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 ho.
Dear God. There we go. And then that one. That one. And that looks to be about it. Alright, so here's the main board with the vibration motors appropriately placed. My goal here is to find out why these things are
Sidey.
rocking side to side. Because these ones, I don't believe, have it. No, they don't have that issue.
See, now I would laugh if you came over here and you tried to use it and they were, and then you realized that was exactly how they're supposed to be, and you took the backup PS2 control for nothing.
No, I've done this before, and I'm trying to find out if maybe. Oh, wait a minute. Are these two different? I wonder if I put the wrong one back in each spot and if that matters.
Perhaps that's your initial problem.
Well, yeah, but let's see what else we've got besides that, in which case I'm going to go ahead and, well, pull the... Oh wait, I forgot there's a screw holding it in place.
So that may help.
Right friggin' there. I have my camera in macro mode, but I don't know if you guys can see that. Made my thumb in the way. And Sony actually made a very good design choice here. They chose to have all the same screw, all the same type of screw all the way through the entire thing.
Hey, when there's like 3 different types of screws.
Well, there's often more than 3. I think in the PS3 controller there's about 3, I think. maybe 2 or 3. Anyway, here's a very oddly shaped LED. That must have cost Sony a fortune in the long run. There is a way to change these hat switches. Sweet. So I'm going to put this rubber hat back on the other controller. Later. Another day. These don't spin, but I am going to change these because I need the left one to have more grip than the right. And my left one is worn smooth.
Remember, everybody, rotate your tips every 6 months.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, there's the joysticks. There's a button right. That sounded bad, but it wasn't. I know it wasn't. They have little buttons right here, right underneath the axis on which they rotate here. The axis is like extended on that side. Push it straight down, and it triggers the button right there. And anything electronic, you'll see those buttons a lot.
I mean, it's a good button for the whole push down the stick to push the button and all, but when I'm required to like press it 10 times per second, that's kind of hard.
It is a little difficult.
Like any game that requires that, it's just mean.
You've got a Mad Catz controller with the macro button, that'd be pretty cool.
Oh yeah, I suppose.
I don't think they ever made a PS2 one though. Or even any kind of Sony one to begin with.
Oh, that's too bad.
But really, after... Oh god, what happened there? Oh, that's just a support. Okay, so that post right there on the white piece, right there, I thought was supposed to go through a hole, but apparently it's not. It's just supposed to stay there. Keep the board from snapping, I guess. Oh yeah, and then there's, for each stick, there's 2 potentiometers. So you can turn it one way or the other, and they spring back to center. And then there's a potentiometer on this side of this stick as well.
Those messed up plenty.
Actually, mine don't. I mean, you can glitch them by holding, like, if the controller's upside down and something heavy is on top of it,
yeah.
and you plug it in, it will say that is the 0, and anything past that is a dead zone.
Oh, see, yeah.
Yeah. I've had that happen with the directional buttons, though, and I don't know what's up there.
No, I've had that happen with pretty much every controller I've ever encountered. If you start it and you're pressing something on the control stick, it'll stick there.
So here's the conductor buttons for all here's the D-pad, and here's the rubber hats for the symbol buttons.
So many hats.
Yeah. There are rubber hats for the L and R switches, which I'm not going to take up because they're glued. I just realized. I've seriously just realized they're glued. They weren't on the other one.
Interesting.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, so there's not much to it. I mean, there's the logic chip, but my question is, why are there so many pins here? Or wait, no, that's actually just the input. So, and the output is right here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and right here in that plug, one of the pins is empty. Like, here, I got it.
Interesting.
Like there's 3 pins in this one and this one, but this one's missing its center pin. I've always noticed. And then I think this is the power for the light in the remote. Or okay, I thought it had numbers on it, but actually it's just, wait, does it have numbers? No, they're just worn spots from the tabs inside the console.
Interesting.
So, I'm gonna put this back together, and then I've switched the sticks. I didn't even think about doing that until I got it open. So just make sure everything lines up. Just set it in like a tray. And then you get this screw back down to hold the board into the shell. Right there. No. Oh, don't go in crooked. There we go.
Hey, when that happens.
Yeah, screw goes in crooked. You strip the threads and you have to re-thread it.
Mm-hmm.
Or you have to get a self-threading screw for this type of plastic. That's expensive.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at first, like a single unit's like, a single one of them is like 20 cents, but when you consider that normal screws are worth like half a penny
That's true.
a piece, it gets expensive. Alright, so let me see if oh, wait a minute. It was broken. I'm just looking here, and I think that these might be something that was holding the L1 and R1 buttons straight. I remember I put these in upside down one time.
Oh, oops.
Yeah. Big time.
That'd be awkward.
It was. It just felt weird, and I was like, why does it feel so weird? And then I looked at it, and I was like, oh crap, I put them in upside down. Genius, Tim. Genius.
Tune in next week when we figure out other things that he managed to mess up.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. What keeps them from rocking? Nothing. Like nothing keeps them from rocking side to side. Wait. Okay, that's not... No, no, no. No, 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 no. Yeah, just come out and go back in. Like... I swear something used to be there that's broken off. We'll open the other one in a minute. We'll compare. Because I need to fix that one's D-pad. Or no, this one's the one that had trouble with the D-pad.
Oh.
Like, only the right button works, and it doesn't even work very well. You have to press it for an eternity or with a jackhammer to get it to work right.
So wait, that was the real problem here?
I guess. The triggers are more of an irritation. It's just annoying when I'm playing like Ace Combat and I'm like squeezing the controller in different ways. And like I'll be holding it for throttle, holding the R1 for throttle, and then all of a sudden I go, no, 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 fire, 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 and it rocks to the side and gets stuck.
That's hilarious.
No, it's not.
That's hilarious for everyone else.
Oh yeah, for everyone else. It's not fun to deal with.
Huh.
I swear there's something that goes there. I just don't remember what it is.
I think it's a button.
Geez, Sherlock, you figured that out yourself?
I have credited sources.
High school taught us well, did it not?
Oh, yes.
Oh, man. Okay, so... it goes there to where the 1 is right side up when you're sitting the controller flat. And it's not tilting side to side. Oh, wait, it will. It will.
Well, don't do that.
Yeah. Maybe if I put the bottom half in, it'll actually stick into place.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I just didn't get something seated properly last time.
That may be it.
It can always happen, so if something doesn't feel right, just take it apart and put it back together again. And trust me, as Pavlov says, if you do it enough times in a row, you'll have enough spare parts after a while to build a second one. And that's usually true, but it takes millions of times.
Yeah, I end up forgetting at least where 1 or 2 parts go when I take those things apart. So I tend not to try.
And then you find them a week later?
Yeah. And then I wonder,
like in your sock?
Well, and then I wonder what they were for, because I couldn't remember exactly what they might
I always
for.
remember. I once took a Nerf gun apart and had the spring for the trigger release. And it went flying, and I decided to cut a pen spring in half to replace it.
Interesting.
But then a week later, I accidentally stepped on the original spring.
That must have been fun. What exactly were you wearing when you stepped on it?
Socks.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not that bad.
Or maybe it was my slippers. I just heard something weird happen, and I was like, oh, was that a paperclip I stepped on? No, wait, I don't keep paperclips. What was that?
Yeah.
So I looked down, and it's the spring, and I'm like, oh crap. All right, so they're actually properly seated now. So now I can put this back together, and these the 2 buttons, the L2 and R2 buttons, are a pain to get seated properly inside of there with the rubber hat buttons. Except these actually seem to be cooperating a little bit, mildly. There we go. you just press the top half backwards a little bit and they'll just sort of slide. But you have to hold it at this angle, the bottom part at least. That way the switches, the actual levers for the buttons fall open. That's where you can use them properly. And now, let's say we test these things after we're done tinkering with them. We test them with like Shadow the Hedgehog or something.
They're probably good.
Like we die and trade off, or
yeah, or something. Or that multiplayer is also just strange.
it's weird.
All you really do is just run around and shoot until one person actually gets hit.
Yeah. You won't believe this. Knowing that game, you won't believe this. But when my friend Daniel and I were playing, I actually managed to get a melee hit on him and kill him.
Wow, that doesn't happen.
See what I mean? Like I said, you know that game, so you won't believe this, but it happens. I mean, I know the rule of the internet, which it's like 10 something. I mean, maybe it's 64 Pixar. It didn't happen.
Ah, yes.
Or is that 34? No, 34. Who am I kidding?
No, it's not really 34.
This is a decent YouTube channel. We don't talk about that thing.
Stay away from that rule.
I will admit the SCPs are actually pretty cool, though. A couple of them kept me up at night.
Neat.
I kept thinking Slender Man was on that list, and I couldn't find him anywhere. I Control F'd the entire list, and I couldn't find Slender Man.
Nice.
So Slender Man is actually apparently originating from a German legend called Der Ritter, or at least it's spelled like an English person would pronounce it Der Ritter.
Der Ritter.
D-E-R-R-I-T-T-E-R. And it's supposed to be a skeleton-like, just a man dressed in all black and skeleton-like, with like no face, or at least a.
Pretty accurate.
Oh my God! Wait. Okay, so they still rock side to side more than I'd like, and I guess something's broken that I can't fix. Yeah, so I'll be using this one just for handicap's sake.
Oh, I mean, I'm good with it too.
And I guess we can just toy with the other one off camera, or you guys are probably bored already.
So wait, are we actually going to know the problem with this one, or are we going to go in thinking that we know the problem and then figure out something else?
Well, I'm just going in to compare these switches.
Oh.
So actually, we're going to go ahead and leave the camera on.
Neat.
I swear, when I do this with Thomas, it's going to end up being a lot like Game Grumps except instead of like playing the game, we're going to be toying with the hardware.
Interesting.
Or not really even just video game hardware. If you guys have a request for me to take something apart and put it back together just to show you how it works, if you're just curious, PM me, say something, because I need an excuse. I do this as a pastime, but then there's spare parts strewn all across my room, and then I try to have company, and nobody's happy.
Oh, I don't know. I think I'm pretty nonchalant right now.
Oh no, don't worry. I cleaned up.
Oh.
Please don't tell me this one's stripped.
Well, I mean, if you cleaned up, then I have to judge on a whole different level.
Well, no, I mean, I cleaned up over the course of a week or so.
Oh.
Like, I haven't done much tinkering in the past long while.
No, that makes sense.
Okay, and then this one. Oh, God. I've either really badly stripped the screws, or like the screw heads to where the head won't fit, or I've stripped the threads of this one. And this one is actually like a tinkering platform for me.
Interesting.
Oh, please tell me that one actually like stuck to something.
Oh, what is the ball magnetic?
Yes, it's a magnetic dish. That's why. That's why these things, when I push them out like that. Except that one.
And then they don't work.
Alright, where's my flashlight?
Tune in next week when we assume other things will work and they don't.
Oh yeah, and one thing I will not do is take my tools apart. Like if I have a machine or a tool, I will not dismantle it unless I have a spare. Okay. Oh, here it is, hiding behind my tripod box.
I thought you wanted the hammer for a minute.
No. Flashlight. Because I need to see. Alright, here's this one screw. You guys can't see this, but I'm actually searching under my desk. Oh well. I was already missing a screw from this thing anyway. Oh, this motor's out of its housing. I wonder if that's my fault.
Would you just like rage quit?
Come to think of it, it probably... Oh, no, wait, the housing's broke.
Oh, well, that's no good.
That sucks. Like, it actually won't hold the motor. Correctly, at least.
Interesting.
Like, these two plastic sides will hold it right here and here.
Yep.
But the plate in front, like on this side...
It's broken up inside.
Yeah.
Neat.
I was just going to say that if my friend Thomas and I actually do this for a lot, it's probably going to end up like Game Grumps.
I wouldn't be surprised. It'd be pretty funny.
I think it would too, because he and I have our own chemistry. He's... Yeah, oh, wait a minute. Did I just kill this? No. No, I didn't kill it. Okay. The little plastic sheath that holds the terminals on came loose, and where's the top? Did you put it somewhere?
No, the top is...
Oh, here it is, on my table. Where I put it. How convenient.
And isn't that the back?
It is. It's the bottom.
Oh, okay.
It's the side that houses the R2, the R and L2 switches. But this plastic part right here pushes and holds this down to where the circuits actually make contact. Because underneath here, you couldn't see this on the other one because it was probably glued, but each one of these little wires is bare underneath this plastic, and each one touches these terminals here, and that's how it communicates to the microchip. A lot of you interested enough to actually watch it probably already knew that, so I kind of just wasted my breath. What did I say was up with this one? Oh yeah, I was just going to compare. Alright, so let's take one of these L1s out. The L1. And I was right.
Something broken?
These tabs right here are missing from both sides of that one.
Interesting.
Like normally with something like that's symmetrical like this, like I just did with these, the motor housings, normally you can tell if something is missing if it's symmetrical, but on that other controller over there, both of them were missing.
There's only one answer to that. You played too much Ace Combat.
Actually, I wasn't very fond of that one because Ace Combat 5, The Unsung War, is probably the only PS2 game, only game I've ever played that uses every single button on the controller by default.
Interesting.
It's like the only one that I've ever seen. You even use the select button.
For what?
You swap weapons with it.
Oh?
You swap between your missiles and your special weapons. Which, if you're out of both, you can't swap. So whatever you end up with is whatever you end up with.
Well, shoot.
So yeah, it's a bit of a hard-ass game with a pretty anime-like storyline. I was actually very surprised.
Neat.
And impressed. So I just have to make sure that this foam pad right here gets seated correctly, otherwise the controller will bug and glitch and won't work.
This is why I'm more of a gameplay guy, because trust me, I wouldn't be able to do this on my own.
I don't just do this with like game hardware. I do this with everything.
Oh, no.
I've been tempted to dismantle my watch, and even though it's like the only one I have, but
I shouldn't do that.
I lost my interest in doing so whenever I learned that it was a quartz watch, not a rotary escapement.
Perhaps it's for the best for the watch's sake.
Yeah, for like, okay, can I share something kind of weird? Like not like awkward weird, but like interesting weird. A lot of times I think that all of the technology in the world knows who I am. I like to think this because
the NSA knows who you are.
I hope not. Oh wait, you mean like I'm not on their hit list, they just know?
No, maybe you are now.
Oh god, no.
suspicious activity in this video.
Oh dear.
Put him on file.
Damn
Dismantling
YouTube bot.
things.
Oh, I bet that's what's keeping me from... Yeah, okay, this cord, the controller cord, the output cable, goes around that post and almost underneath the circuit board, not on top of it. Otherwise the case won't shut. Or the shell, excuse me. Oh my god, look at this. Remember how that motor housing was out? Mm-hmm. How that motor was out of its housing?
Yep.
It's actually made freaking scratch marks on the inside.
Interesting.
Look at this. It's like been bouncing around inside the housing.
That's fantastic.
Oh god.
Speaking of which.
Don't these have springs? They don't have springs. That's why they're able to fall. 2 right side up. Ta-da! Alright. And for those of you wondering if you ever take one of these apart, put the 2 right side up and just like an acorn, just drop it down in there and then give it a good jostle or a shake and it falls right in. And now, you know what would really suck?
What?
Is if somebody sent this video to DCE and he did an ERC on it.
That'd be interesting.
You know, now that I say that, it'd probably be even weirder.
True, true.
And then now that I say that...
Guess it's up.
Yeah. So I've only got... Oh, I actually got 5 screws. And I didn't... There was a reason I didn't take the board loose, is because I didn't have to. I didn't take the board loose from the, I guess you would call it the chassis. Oh, come on, tighten, damn you.
Is that going to be another one of those that's what she said comments?
Yes. Whatever timestamp that is, it's probably going to be that's what she said. We're only going to have to cut this into parts. We've almost got 30 minutes already.
Nice.
I can cut this later. I really don't want to.
Yeah.
I bet my friend Thomas will make for some interesting conversation.
Oh, probably.
He's a nut. I mean, he used to be. Now he's more of a nut in a delightful way. Like when it's called for. Like if you like, you know how when you say you give kids like you go to Incredible Pizza and you give him a $20 game card and you're just like, go wild. He'll go wild.
That's hilarious.
I mean, really, with Incredible Pizza, it almost doesn't matter how old you are. It always the words "go" and "crazy" always mean the same thing.
That's true.
Come on. Go further.
It's another one.
Yeah. I didn't even pick that one up, actually.
And now I'm counting them.
That makes like 6.
That's true.
Get over it. People were engineered for certain purposes. Come on. It's not quite tight. Oh, God. Leave it. Hopefully you're not even watching.
No, I am.
No. It's like oh, wait, did I just...
Interesting.
I could probably offer a service. Like I could fix MLG's controllers.
Interesting, yeah.
Oh, wait. That was not holding it tight. Maybe I could reboot Mad Catz and be a technician.
Oh, Mad Catz.
Like I could tune people's controllers. That's what I would do if I worked at GameStop. I'd offer an enhancement service.
Mm-hmm.
Just making everything feel better. The controller.
Yeah.
Like right now, these actually kind of click. They're almost touchpad level, and now I'm actually surprised. Analog button's still deep as it should be. Start, select. All the other buttons are working fine. I would test combos, but I don't want to. I find that this actually provides a little bit more grip because there's a sharper edge. When you're going on full lock, there's a sharper edge here, so it's actually easier to put it on full lock than it would be if you had the hat.
True.
But then if you're like moving it, that's when you want the rubber hat.
I can imagine so.
But anyway, yeah, and I can't really tighten this any. Yeah, I can. It just won't hold it. Come on.
I could always hit it with a hammer and see what happens.
That'd just make it worse. That's Tom's answer to everything. Brute force! If all else fails, brute force. But he doesn't wait for the all else.
Yeah.
He just waits for else.
I do find the brute force works quite well.
Yeah. Well, if this has entertained you at all, go ahead and you know, just PM me with stuff you want me to take apart. Like I got like a tub of I have an iPod dock, for Christ's sake. I have an old 30-pin iPod dock with an alarm clock in it. I have my old alarm clock I don't really use. It was annoying me last night. Of course, got my flashlight, but it's the only one I have. I got tons of stuff. So just yeah, just message me with something you want to see taken apart and put back together. Until next time, I'm Tim.
And I'm Noah.